Keys. I'm in the foreign vibing, slide, feeling like Fabio Big Drip. It's murder, and like Bobby Doe.
Let's chat with Fatality MMA.
Okay, I made this video, I recorded it a while ago, but I had a lot of mistakes in there that I need to go back and edit it. So I'm just going to give you the gist of it now, and if you want to listen to the rest, you're welcome to. Now, the point I'm trying to prove here is that Warner Brothers has lost a lot of fucking money, man, to a point where they're in serious debt. And Discovery bought them, but they spent a lot of money to buy them. And how do I say this? They want their money back. How are they going to get their money back? They're going to charge us. They're going to nickel and dime us for everything they can get. This is why Warner Brothers is turning most of their most of their high-level games into live service games so they can make that money back. I personally believe that Discovery is trying to sell Warner Brothers again, and they're trying to beef it up as much as they can. Because honestly, during the DCEU, they lost a lot of money with those movies. And this could be the major reason why MK12 or 1 was boosted up to this year. And we all heard that on that earning call. But this is one of the major reasons why we got that game so quickly. Well, we should have got Injustice 3. I don't want to argue. That's just how I feel. Because if you look at the track record, when MK11 came out, they were still owned by AT&T. So they didn't have the necessarily need to monetize the game like that. But now that they're under Discovery, they have to monetize the game, and that's why we're paying $10 for fucking skin. Excuse my language. And don't worry, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League will be monetized too. I'm surprised. I think the Harry Potter game is monetized. I never played Hogwarts Legacy, so you guys let me know in the comments if it is monetized or not. But just expect to see this, and expect to see some DC characters being sold off to other companies like Marvel did when they was going bankrupt, if James Gunn don't change things around. But that is the gist of what I'm saying. If you guys want to continue listening, you can listen to me rant for a few more minutes. But that is the gist of it, man. David Zaslav won his money back. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of the conversation.
Alright, so this is the video I've been thinking about making for a while now. And it's really about the struggles of NetherRealm Studios and Mortal Kombat 1. But the thing about it is, you can't talk about their problems without going down a rabbit hole, because these problems started maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. And it goes to Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers, I want to say it's a big part of the problem, but the problem really comes from their parent company, AT&T. Now, when AT&T was running things, they couldn't really do anything right, man. It was just... To me, it was a complete disaster, man. Comic sales wasn't that great. They couldn't really make any good movies. I mean, the Christopher Reeves movie back in the day was actually pretty good, but not until DC didn't really get that point until Batman Begins. Now, this may just be me in my younger age talking. I'm in my 30s, mid 30s, but I mean, I remember the '89 Batman, but I was born in '89, so what about it? So again, I think DC didn't really start to boom to the world until Batman Begins came out. And then around that same time, I want to say The Dark Knight, we got the Arkham Asylum games. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. Those really helped boost DC. And Warner Brothers and AT&T was like, okay, if you want to sell something, put Batman in it. Pretty dumb. And then around 2008, that's when Marvel came out with the MCU and Iron Man. They had a couple of good movies. Then Avengers hit, and it changed the world in 2012. And that's when Warner Brothers and AT&T started to just lose money, because they tried to chase Marvel and do the exact same thing. Other people may say different things, like they should have did all the individual characters first, then go to a Justice League or Avengers type thing. But I think you should be different, but not so different that you look crazy, I guess, because they went Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, and then we didn't get the breakdown of characters after that. I felt that way could have worked if we would have just got Batman v Superman instead of a Batman v Superman, them fighting each other. We should just have the world's finest, have them team up to fight Doomsday. They didn't have to fight each other. And Wonder Woman being there, that was cool too. But I feel like that could have been tweaked a little bit. I have to say this, I'm like a halfway fan of Zack Snyder. Some of his stuff is good. The other half of his stuff is just like shooting fish in a barrel. It's not, I don't know. It's just, anyways, before I get off track. Yeah, like I was saying, World's Finest, they team up, they stop Doomsday or whoever, or Lex Luthor, doesn't matter. Then you could do a Justice League movie. Instead of trying to make it all 5 at one, you could do a Justice League movie. Just right after that Justice League movie, you need to give me all those individual characters that we just saw in Justice League. And the situation with his, the situation with his daughter passing away, I understand why he walked away. So, but replacing him with Joss Whedon to fix that movie was probably another mistake, and they lost a lot of money with that. It just seems DC and the heads at Warner Brothers lost a lot of money for AT&T. So AT&T eventually said, I have to get rid of this. So they sold it off to the next company, which was Discovery. Discovery came in, and then at a pivotal point where things were, it seemed, if you look at the back end and the studios and what they were trying to produce, it seemed that they started to course correct themselves. But the new Discovery and David Zaslav, or however you say the name is, he's the CEO or the head of Discovery. He didn't really care about any of that. He just said, you know what, I'm going to hire James Wan, not James Wan, but what is his name? I'm forgetting his name right now. James Gunn. Hired James Gunn and said, this is your show, you run it, I believe in you. And the other guy, I forget his name, but you guys run it. Now, again, I have to give him a chance to actually work his stuff, to figure things out. But again, Discovery came in at a pivotal point where I think Warner Brothers was actually course correcting things because they got rid of some people inside their office. But I'm saying all this to say one thing. DC and Warner Brothers lost a lot of money on trying to make the DCEU, and that affected the company. And because that affected the company, that affected all the subdivisions, trickle down effect. NetherRealms, they had to help them out by some means. And so Warner Brothers was like, hey, let's take this game that you got. Mortal Kombat's a cash cow. People are going to buy that. Let's put that out soon as possible, like next year or 2 years, whatever they said. And now they're trying to make as much money as they can by trimming the fat, getting rid of certain things that they don't care about in the movies and in the video games, just so Discovery can sell Warner Brothers again to try to recuperate some money. This is what it's all coming down to. This is why everything sucks with NetherRealm Studios, because they don't have a choice. Their parent company is getting destroyed by other bigger companies. So at some moment, we might even see some of DC properties or characters being sold off to other things.
God help us.
Now, this is a rant video, but it's the truth of why we are having so much trouble when it comes to Mortal Kombat. I'm not going to talk your ear off. I'm going to end this video. Appreciate you listening. If you have any comments or disagreements or anything like that, put it in the comments. Talk to me. I'm always listening. Appreciate you.